Welcome gamers to this week's episode of Last Call Gaming, and on today's episode, we're going to take a look at GTA's new DLC, the casino that's finally out, and some of the snags that it's having. Is it the game's problem, or is it the country you live in that's stopping you from spending your in-game currency? Also guys, Google Stadia wants to remind you that it is moving forward with its streaming service by offering you free games a month. So we're going to take a look at that and see if that makes buying the Google Stadia any more appealing. But more importantly guys, stay tuned to the end of this episode because we are giving away a Nintendo Switch Lite. So make sure you stay to the end of that guys, and you can figure out how you can get a chance to win it. But of course, there's all that and more, so if you want to hang out, grab yourself a beer and let's talk games. Welcome guys to this week's episode of Last Call Gaming. We are on episode 14. My name is Craig Prowse, and joining me is the always drunken-handedly, single-mandedly Mandrew Montemare. How are you?
That was pretty good.
I
like that. I feel a lot better now.
It was definitely winging and not planned. So. Well,
I feel a lot better now.
So Andrew, we just watched a lot of videos, so it's kind of hard where to jump in on this. Let's just kind of start at the ground floor with. So GTA Online is obviously one of the most popular things out right now, and it just had the free DLC come out on the 23rd of this month called the Diamond Casino and Resort, I believe. So what this thing offers to the gamers is it's got new missions and heists, new vehicles, new shopping centers, new weapons, new penthouse. But what everyone's kind of losing their minds over in terms of the average gamer versus people that are kind of looking out from the outside in terms of the gambling is the casino aspect of casino games and the horse betting. So Andrew, before we dive too into it, your initial thoughts on this DLC coming out offering this?
Well, I don't have like an addictive personality, so I don't think that it's like really an issue to me. I can look at it from both ways. 'Cause I'm sympathetic to people that do like have a problem. So it's really hard. It's hard to make a judgment call and be like, oh, this should be in there, shouldn't be in there. Because to me, it's fake gambling. It's no different than when I used to go to like my grandmother's house and have like the little poker games that are like the electronic ones.
You could pull it and it was like poker, and you could pull out what number you kept. And
you push the little button to keep the card. But to me, it's like no different than that. Like it's not real. Granted, you can spend real money in there, which is, I guess, more the underlying issue. So I'm of two minds about it. I don't think personally, I don't think gambling's like that fun to where if you pulled it out of the game, because that's not what GTA is about, that it would really hurt anyone. But the fact that you have to pull it out of the game because some people have an issue affects other people. So it goes both ways.
Yeah, so essentially, I mean, just so you guys know, if you are playing GTA Online and you haven't got to it yet, the location of it is right next to the Vinewood racetrack, if that is important to you. But, so what's happening is this concept of the casino was talked about for like the last 6 years in GTA 5. So if you got the game 6 years ago or whenever it came out, it was always just kind of this spot sitting in the back that says, coming soon. Casino.
It's like a renovated building or something like that. Yeah.
So it's always been on the back of people's mind of when is this going to happen? Now, anybody that knows what a casino is knows that there's got to be some version of gambling coming to this thing.
I think they even had it in, and it's not like this is the first time there's been gambling in a Rockstar game. Yeah. They have it in Red Dead, both Red Dead 1 and 2. And I even think in San Andreas, when you go to that like Vegas, that Vegas ripoff too,
place, but I couldn't think of it.
I think you can play slots and cards. If I'm not, I would have to look that up, but I'm pretty sure that you can do that. It's obviously not as like realistic, but the thing about that game though is you can't put real money into it and lose it.
Yeah. So essentially, you go to the casino, and originally what I thought before we delved into this conversation was that you were spending your in-game currency on going to a fake money into a game, playing was it 3-card poker, blackjack,
there's like
roulette,
slots and stuff,
realistic slot machines, I guess. And people are getting to this point where they're like, okay, well you're spending in-game currency, and you can win in-game currency, and that can get you penthouses and cars and this and that. But the hiccup here is that you can actually spend your real world money into this game to get digital currency, and then spend it to get
the
digital
way they
currency.
Get around it. Yeah, it's you don't spend it to get currency. you get a card, which the card you then
it's a shark
use
card, right?
to get currency is what it is. So technically, you're not paying for money. You're paying for something that you then trade for money is the thing.
And here's where they're kind of having a hard time defining what's what, because in certain countries, gambling online is defined one way, and in certain places like America, it's defined another way. So the big problem that this is kind of becoming an issue is because places like the U.S., Western Europe, and Japan are having no problem playing the casino. But there's been a thing on Reddit, because you're the one that brought it to my attention, where it's almost 50 plus countries are having an issue just because of their government law that involves online gaming. And if you can, does you buying money into that count as gambling?
I don't think that's the issue. I want, and that's the thing, is it doesn't specify if that's the issue. If it's the fact that you can then use because that's the thing, is you can use your real world money to get that currency, but you cannot take that money out. So it's not like you're really winning anything, but you're still spending money to gamble in a way. But I don't think that's the issue. I wonder if it's the depiction of gambling at all. But then again, I don't remember seeing something similar for Red Dead unless I missed a big hiccup. But literally, if you're in, any of the... Craig's got a list, he'll show you. Yeah, it's like 50 plus countries. If you try to do it, it just says this is not available in your area. It doesn't even let you go... Yeah. I don't even think it lets you in.
No, and that's the thing. There's no clear-cut point of what's doable to some and what's doable to the others. Some people are able to walk in. They can walk around, they can look at everything, but when they go to play something, it says unavailable. Some people aren't allowed in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've seen some where you can't even go in there.
Some places that have banning on online gaming can play games, and some people that don't have banning can't play games. So it's like there's no, there's no definitive law of who can get what. It's kind of right now up in the air, and it's a mess. And that's what's, I guess, in my opinion, is what's drawing so much eyes to this, is because nobody can go, okay, well, this country can do this and that. But what I want to get into more is that Andrew, because we had a big argument about this of what was kind of defining, who can do what and who should be able to do what. We started diving into it, and you kind of changed my mind on it, because instead of me being, okay, these guys should be responsible with handling their money and in-game currency to not blow their load on digital cosmetics. I mean, Andrew, you kind of brought more to the point of the addictive side of bringing out habits of addictiveness.
Yeah, you can be of the mind of both as long as you're aware of what the other thing is. And so he was kind of just about that mind, why can't you control yourself? And I actually showed him a video, I believe it's 2 weeks old now. You can go check it out on Jim Sterling's channel, and he actually has stories of people who are addicted, and they tell their story, it's how it eats away at them, and they're spending thousands of dollars on things like FIFA loot boxes and stuff like that. So I mean, I think maybe the biggest solution to it, I mean, for my perspective, so that way it doesn't seem as predatory, is if they just took out those shark cards and you can only play, because you can...
With in-game money.
Yeah, with in-game money. That would solve a majority of people's ethical issues with it, whether or not these other countries would let you gamble, because they don't say why it's not allowed. They just say because it's gambling, whether or not that's because you can't have a depiction of gambling in a game, or whether or not because you're buying these shark cards as a thing. But ethic wise, if you cannot buy those shark cards and use them for in-game currency to gamble, that would solve a lot of the ethic issues, because then you're not preying on people who are addicted to gambling. Because there's people who you don't have to go to a casino to gamble. There's tons of people who play online poker and just put a shit ton of money in there, and then before you know it, you're $50,000 in debt, your life savings is gone, whatever. Gone. So you see some of those stories, and it's crazy. Some people just don't even realize what they're doing, and it's not even just when it comes to things like that. There was a story about this guy who loved getting recognition, and so he was donating to people on Twitch, and he would donate just large amounts, and he spent his family's entire fucking savings and stuff like that, to where they were in debt, their credit cards were maxed, and he didn't say anything to anyone until it was too late, and then he had to explain the situation to his wife.
Recognition as what, a fan?
And, yeah, just people knew him as oh, hey, that guy's a big donator, he's a really cool guy, he's very generous, he's a great guy.
He's helping the community.
And then he's got these kids and this wife, and now that's just gone. And so that's the kind of thing that other people are having an issue with, is preying on people with kind of a predatory experience like that. They're susceptible to, I just want to spend this money to, you just don't realize how much you're spending right away, and then it just mountains up to where it's hard to get out of that.
Yeah, and because the weird thing is I think we're able to look at it with a little more of a magnifying glass than most people can, because unless you live in Vegas or like Atlantic City or a country that's big on gambling, we live 10 minutes away from a very big populated casino drive with about 12 casinos on it.
Right.
So we know people, we live with people that, so I get gambling addiction. I get the concept of it. I know people that have it. We know people that we see it every day. My issue with it is it's finally seeping its way into gaming, and I just have a hard time with GTA getting kind of this bad rap that it's getting, when a lot of this stuff in gaming, like the microtransactions, has existed for a while. So
I think it's kind of
are they targeting GTA, or is this just such a big name? I think they post it, they know what they're talking about.
I think it's just because it's a big name and because it's specifically a casino, which is gambling. Whereas things like Call of Duty, it's a loot box. They don't classify it as gambling, even though it really is. You're paying for something. You have no clue what you're getting.
Literally hitting it on the nose and going, hey.
Yeah, same thing like EA. They call theirs like something surprise. They call it surprises or whatever, because you don't know what you're gonna get.
Ethical and fun surprises.
Yeah, is what they try to call it, and so it's not outright gambling, where this is directly on the nose for what it is.
I still feel. I mean, it's hard to make my mind up one way or another, because we were having a conversation earlier. Why should the few people that can't budget or rationalize their money, take away from the guys that do enjoy it? Because what if you are the guy that sits at home who's never played a blackjack table, never been around that environment, and he doesn't spend incontrollably. He wants to go have fun at it, try it out, likes it, doesn't abuse it. But it's the few that do is the problem, right? And that's the videos I was kind of opening my eyes
few,
more.
But it's not the majority.
It's not the majority. A few in terms of millions and millions of players. There's probably still hundreds of thousands of people.
Like I said, I think the simplest solution, just make it so that way you cannot buy in-game currency for the gambling, and that's your problem. That gets rid of a majority of that problem. If other people have a problem with their, I guess it's still an issue if you're spending all your money buying all these skins and every little thing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a factor, but at this point, you can't go back and change all those games that this kind of thing is based on. I mean, I can see any future game moving forward, you don't include it. But how do you do the games that are still currently existing and active on that revenue?
I think
it's a tough question to answer.
I think it's a little bit more overblown too, because this game just came out. So who knows what the numbers are on those people that are now, hey, I'm buying in-game currency so that way I can do the gambling, because that game is very generous with currency. Like, you can do whatever, missions, heists, and all that shit. And there's a ton of ways to get money that I'm that's what I would be curious too, is how many people are like, oh, I don't want to do the missions. I just want to pay this money and I just want to go gamble.
Because that's the other thing that I think a lot of people are missing. The casino wasn't just a place to go spend your money. It gave you new missions. It gave you options to buy more stuff. So, I mean, the game offers more than just that point. It's just that this is kind of coming into full realization that, this is a problem, and it kind of helped us, or at least me, to put spotlight more on the microtransactions, because I don't do any of that. I was telling Andrew, I felt like an asshole when we were playing Assassin's Creed.
Paying for the XP
Origins?
booster.
No, Origins.
Odyssey.
On Odyssey. And I paid for the $4 XP booster. I was just like, God damn it. $4 is a beer the next time I go out. And that's how I felt about it. But it's weird to finally... I didn't even think twice about it until recently. Assassin's Creed is now a microtransaction game when it never used to be. And I guess that's kind of what I need to open my eyes more to, is that more and more games are doing this. And after watching that video, I forget who it was.
Jim Sterling.
Oh, God, that guy... no, not Jim Sterling. The guy that was just predatorial on it.
Yeah, I have no clue what that dude's name
is.
We'll
try to post the links if you guys want to watch it. Is this guy just being... essentially letting developers know how to make a game that just draws people's addictiveness in and take advantage of it. And that's just kind of that's the bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, I mean, if you're buying cosmetics and stuff, as long as you know what you're getting, I don't see it as an issue. But when it's just some like random thing, or like I did have a problem with the Assassin's Creed thing, but I really didn't want to grind in that game. The fact that they made it so that way that's even an option says something. Just scale the game down or put a different mode in there, maybe like easier or something. I don't know. The fact that I had to pay the XP booster and then still felt like later on I had to grind certain sections, I'm like, damn, what would that have been like if I didn't have this? Yeah, without this booster. It's just like artificial. You're making it that way, so that way we'll purchase this. Whereas if I would have no problem just buying random skins or something like that.
Yeah, and one of the other things I had to kind of open my eyes to again was I didn't realize how many how much kids were getting involved in this, because I was watching another video. I don't know if you're in the bathroom or you're downstairs, but it was showing that like kids on Fortnite are, making fun of the other kids in their groups that
don't have the skins and stuff like that.
I don't play Fortnite, so I don't know. They're calling them defaults, and that's the kind of thing to make fun of kids that don't have the cool thing. And it's just, I didn't realize that there was that much more bullying involved outside of a guy that can't control his checkbook. Kids that are just trying to stay popular in a group that has now moved from the recess to now the gaming system.
Yeah, there's a whole thing on that, and there's like kids being like bullied at school, like, oh, he's got defaults, and it's like
defaults.
Half the time I prefer the default character to like anything else. So either way, it's just crazy to see how far it's gone.
Yeah, it's weird that it's gone from one thing, because I don't give a shit about buying anything in game, but apparently hundreds of thousands of people do, and it's causing a lot of problems. And
it went from buying horse armor in Oblivion to
useless
cosmetic horse armor to now I can buy every little this thing, that thing.
You're gonna try to bring it.
I didn't want to say this shit actually Chris Kirkpatrick, so I was trying to say this thing, that thing, something else that rhymes, but I couldn't.
So I don't know. I want to stand on an unbiased opinion. I'm not swaying one way or the other. I think online gambling, in terms of you having in-game currency and going to go play it on blackjack, in my mind, is fine. If you're the kind of person that wants to bet X amount of money into it, I mean, it's America. You can go bet whatever you want on it. It's just, I don't know how you would control the addictive side without eradicating it altogether. And if that is the solution, is that fair to anyone else that doesn't have the problem? You know what I mean? Because you're not gonna cater to both sides with the argument. So right. I don't know where it goes from there. But what I do want to say, guys, is what the casino actually had to offer. There is one thing which I thought was interesting. So you get one free spin a day, and it's you can win a prize that's based on like a weekly pool. That has nothing to do with in-game currency. That has nothing to do with you betting on anything or buying anything. And that was actually banned on countries that still wouldn't allow online gaming. So the one free thing that really isn't gambling, it's just you spinning a wheel and getting something.
I'll tell you what it has.
Because there's no loss.
I seen an article that said it promotes violence. And it was hilarious.
Are you talking about the valet driver?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I literally read the same thing.
Yeah, because people are just fucking up the valet driver out in front of the casino. But not only that, people are just posting up outside the casino because there's only one way in and out. People, and just blasting everybody trying to get in there.
He's supposed to be like the most killed character like in gaming history already. And it's only been, how long? A week or so, just because people are just destroying him.
And it was funny, too, because I was like, oh, I'd probably do the same. I'd probably just fuck that guy up on my way into the casino.
Yeah, well, because the other thing is you can turn off, I forget what the mode they call it, but you can turn off...
it's like passive mode.
Yeah, passive mode where you can go on. But nobody knew about that. So all these guys trying to get to this casino were just getting wrecked. So I thought that was hilarious. But I do got to ask you this, though, Andrew. So in terms of putting it on the shoulders of a company, let's just look at that. Rockstar, like you said, had tried this out with Red Dead. Right? They, from my research, I was saying Red Dead 2 already had issues with their poker, and there was a big thing in Argentina where characters went to go, or people from Argentina went to go play it, and it was already banned. So they already knew this was coming. So in their mind, if they're going to make a whole casino based on this, they already knew that there had to be bans coming. Do you think they, I don't want to say gave a shit, but did it matter? Or when you have the US, Western Europe, and Japan as all places that are fine, are they making their money? I mean, is that kind of it?
That's the majority of it. And I want to say this game has made more... I want to say it's made more money than anything else in like any other sort of medium or something, if I'm not mistaken. Because
if not top 10, top 5.
Yeah, because this game made money hand over fist. And that was years ago that it had already passed that mark.
Yeah.
And so now who gives a shit? To them it's just pennies at that point.
Yeah, I don't look at GTA as being one of these guys that are starting a movement like that. They put out a great service since the day it launched till right now, and this is the next thing they can do to keep their active players
fresh,
interested. Yeah. I mean, what else could they have really done? So, but one last thing before we move on, they do have, or at least some people have been trying to use VPNs to get past their
to get past the country's laws.
So, talk to me a little bit about how, shortly, so we'll move on. What that is and how that works.
They just use a VPN, and what that does is that I think it stands for Virtual Private Network is what it stands to. stands for, and pretty much it can just change your IP address to make it seem like you're from somewhere else. So like, perfect example, there's a guy that lives down the street from Craig who's from England. He likes to watch snooker, which is like it's almost like a pool, almost is what it is. It's something like that.
I don't watch it legally.
He can't watch it, the championship or whatever. He has to use a VPN to make his IP address seem like it's from somewhere over there in order for him to watch it. And it could be like from somewhere else in Europe. Like I think his was set to like Germany because I had it set to give him just a random one. And
you gave him one?
Yeah, and that worked just fine. So nice. What that does, that just lets you, it just mitigates some of that. I mean, I'm sure in some of the, I don't know what the
ramifications.
The ramifications are for some of those countries that it's completely illegal.
Because Rockstar will ban your account, but good luck getting fucking busted by Norwegian law government because you're
some no tolerance,
a gambling law. So tread carefully, kids, if you're one of those guys that are trying to get past it, because it's really not worth it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to touch on it at all? I mean, it's I don't know. I feel like in the next few months. This whole loot box, microtransaction, GTA Online Casino, this is kind of putting a stamp on it. It's going to kind of be a bigger issue, and I feel like we'll have a lot more to talk about when more laws and litigation starts coming to fruition.
It'll just blow over until the next big game.
Right now, it just is what it is. It's happening, and some countries allow it, some countries don't.
It pops up every time a big game adds something like that. So, I mean, it'll blow over until the next big game comes out, and then it'll start the circus all over again. So,
do you think Rockstar is at all to blame for any of it, or... Like I think they just made the next thing they know they had to make to keep their already existing very nice, Grand Theft Auto fans appeased? Because I mean, this was announced years ago that it was coming, and it's finally here.
Well, I mean, they knew what they were making, so I mean, who else can you blame besides them? But I mean, like you said, it's a little bit of everything and everyone's fault.
And where do you go from there? So,
yeah. Well, I'll tell you where you go. You go onto the Stadia or not, maybe.
So the next issue, guys, and we'll move past that. But guys, please leave your comments in there because that issue is a little more serious than just a gaming topic, and I'm curious of what you guys think because, like I said, we do know people with gambling addictions, but I look at it one way, Andrew looks at it another way. I'm curious to how you guys look at it because it is more than just a different issue. It's a serious matter. So please, guys, comment, post, and let us know your thoughts on that. But yeah, moving into the Stadia. So Stadia is coming out. Google Stadia is coming out November of 2019. So we're close. We're right around the corner of this thing. It's kind of wants to make sure that you guys haven't forgot about it. Because to be honest with you, until I was watching a video the other day, I was like, oh shit, I forgot. I pre-ordered my Stadia. I forgot that was a thing.
I forgot you were even getting one.
Yeah. So they kind of announced this, that they are going to be doing a free games a month system, similar to what...
Well, it was during a Reddit AMA.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, Ask Me Anything is what that stands for those who don't know. So it's just... I forgot the guy's name. It was the dude who came out on stage and did it, and people just ask him questions, and he'll answer what he can, but a lot of it is to, like, corporate...
Was it that bald guy?
Yeah.
Okay. The guy... I'm sure he'll be playing right around now. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, so a lot of it could just be
and
like...
He's got a real simple name, too. Like, you shouldn't be able to...
No way. No.
Is it?
No, his name is... It's like Olaf, like Gorbachev.
Oh, I don't know. Like William Williams or something.
No.
Okay, so walk me through a little bit about what he was answering.
Some of the questions that people are asking is... what is it going to be akin to, or stop comparing it to, like, Netflix for games? So he went out to verify, because that's what a lot of people really thought this was going to be, because they haven't been too clear. And my idea of what I thought this was is that when you pay for the pro mode, the free mode, you don't get any sort of free games or anything like that. Your games only play at 1080.
Well, so, let's just break it down real quick.
Yeah. Go ahead and break it down.
So there's two different structures for how Stadia is planning to lay this out. One of them is the Stadia base, which is free, which the free one is not even out yet. That's going to be coming out 2020.
Next year, yeah.
So it's going to be able to run up to 1080. It's going to run at 60 FPS. It's going to have stereo. It's going to be able to buy your games online. So instead of walking to a GameStop or on the Xbox dashboard and buying a $60 game, you'd be buying it off of Google's net or dashboard, I assume. And then it's also going to be... so there's going to be, and this is the point of the conversation, they're not going to be able to give you any additional free games at the moment, and then you're not going to be able to get any Stadia deals, which is like if you're on Xbox or PlayStation, you'll see monthly deals every once in a while.
Yeah, deals with gold.
The second structure that's currently out is called Stadia Pro, which is the Founders Edition that runs up to 4K, 60 FPS, 5.1 Stadia. It will give you free games a month.
It says one, maybe two.
Maybe two, and it's going to be able to give you discounts on everything. And the free game that they're starting with is Destiny 2, the entire collection of it. So,
and I think that's what got a lot of people upset, is a lot of people were more thinking, and he says, think of it more like Xbox Live or Gold, where it's 1 to 2 free games, where most people were thinking that it is going to be like a Netflix for games, or like the Xbox Game Pass, where I'm paying this premium amount, and I can just go in and pick and choose whatever games are available.
Right, especially if they're streamed. I mean, you're not physically buying anything, and that's kind of where the
I think
is.
That was like kind of a sour note for a lot of people. I was like, oh, why would I even want that? Because yeah, I gotta buy my console, but for the Game Pass, there's a shit ton of games, and there's a lot of new games that come day and date. You know, Gears 5 will be on there day and date. Who knows if the next Halo will be? I'm willing to bet that it will, with how they've been doing everything else on there day and date.
So the way I had to look at it as a biased person that pre-ordered it is the Google Stadia, and chime in if you guys completely disagree, because I don't think Andrew's on the same page as I am. You get Google Stadia for $129, which is essentially the controller and the Firebox.
Sorry, you're gonna hate me.
What's that?
You're gonna hate me, but I forgot to pull this beer out before I had to sip it.
Pull it out, baby. It's what we keep a fridge on standby. So essentially, you got $129 for the box and your controller, right? So look at the $129 is the same as you buying a PS5 or a Nintendo Switch or an Xbox One. And then how do you go buy a game on Xbox One or PS5? You spend $60 and you go buy the game. Well, on Stadia, you're gonna buy the game for $60 and it's gonna come on Stadia. The difference is you physically own or digitally own a game on Xbox One. And here's my only gripe. Is you're not getting that with Google Stadia. How do they? Essentially, it's just saving it. Right?
I've got some more to add to my riff, so I'll just say later on. For one of my riffs has to do with sort of a digital thing.
Okay.
But yeah, what they said, because a question someone asked them is, if you guys were to close, things don't go well, let's say a month from now, something along those lines, what happens to the games that we purchased? Because you're purchasing Assassin's Creed, you're purchasing whatever game at top dollar value, whatever it is on the market. I disagree with, right? So $60, and he just had some like corporate mumbo jumbo, like kind of dance around the subject, and the only thing
you can tell PR was already being like, hey, save this.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, what do you do with it? People aren't buying physical mediums. Like, people, it's hard to buy a CD or like a vinyl these days.
It's not wrong.
Yeah, it's not wrong, but it's not the right answer. Yeah. The answer that he more specifically gave, really out of the whole paragraph, was one little thing that said, you'll be able to get your metadata out of there, which is like your save files and stuff like that. But what does that transfer to? Like, you can't put, can I take my metadata and put it on my Xbox or another viable thing if there's no more?
Yeah, you're locked into whatever Google has, and if they were to go under after a year, any money you've invested into this, not Google under, but Stadia is a failure. Any media you have is gone. You don't have a Dreamcast game that, Dreamcast went out in 2000. There's no retrade value for it.
It's not that this is just a digital issue, because Steam even has some sort of like some fail-safe thing. I don't know the exact specifics of it, but that if they were to go out of business tomorrow, there's a way that you can download your games and you can play your games and you could have your games.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because you paid for them.
Yeah, and so Stadia is doing this thing, and like I said, you're buying a system at $129, versus a PS5. You're still paying the $60 thing. What they're doing is just what both other main systems are doing. They're having a premium service because we were talking about, you do Xbox without Game Pass, right? You do Xbox Live for $10, you do PS5 for $10, you do Google Stadia for $10. They give you a certain amount of games. Now, my issue is Stadia is going to be this thing where, they're talking 1 to 2 games a month, where Xbox gives you 4 if you have a 360, and I think PS5 is giving you 3 right now.
Yeah, I think they just switched it because they don't do Vita games.
They don't do Vita no more or anything like that. So Stadia, what games are they giving you? Because arguably, sometimes when you get a month worth of Xbox games or Sony games,
they're not all diamonds.
The best, but they're free, so there's no complaints. So Stadia is launching with Destiny 2 fully DLC'd, which is awesome.
But Destiny 2 is also how old now?
Exactly. Are they going to be doing old games, new games? And if they are doing old games, it needs to be the full value. And if they're doing new games, because they're only streaming it, then it needs to be something current, or at least within the year, I would say, that makes it worth its while, or no one's going to dig this.
Yeah, it's not the worst announcement they could have made, but it's definitely not what everybody thought it was going to be. And that's their biggest problem, is they haven't been clear on what it really is. They've kind of just danced around it. And whether or not because it's just not as good as what other people offer, or if it's just because they're not ready to talk about it, they haven't answered that either. So, I mean, there's really no knowing until, when this thing comes out here in
a couple months,
the next 5 minutes.
Jesus, yeah. So, and again, I think Andrew was touching on earlier, I don't like the fact that you're not buying a game at less than $60. Like, because I'm getting it, it's coming, and it's mainly because I want to see what it's like, right? I'll roll the dice on $129 so we can get it, talk about it, test it, give you guys the review. But in retrospect, it's like I don't get why I have to pay $60 for a game on Xbox, and then that I own, and then pay $60 for a game that I'm streaming. Like, why is this not $40? Why is this not?
I want to know about that kind of breakdown.
No, exactly. What's the breakdown of why Google? Are they making that much more money? Because they're a distributor now. They get the distributor.
I'm sure they're still going to pay you're not going to pay $40. If it's $60 on Xbox, it'll be $60 on the Stadia. I mean, who knows? We'll see what the discounts are, but that's always something I wonder is like, what is that breakdown for these digital games? Because I don't have to pay. I'm not paying for shipping. I don't have to pay for the box. I don't have to pay for it to sit on a retailer's shelf.
If I remember right, it's 30%. 30% of what if someone's giving on a digital library, like Cuphead, for instance. On Xbox,
I know the cut.
But I'm saying, though, Google is its own distributor. So, like, Google is making you buy it at $60, and then they're distributing it. So, like,
no, my thing is, why am I still paying $60 when I can go get it from GameStop for $60?
But that's if you have a $500 Xbox or a $500 PS5.
No, what I'm saying is overall. If I'm buying something digital, no matter what console I'm buying it on, why am I paying the same price I would get a physical copy?
So why even is Xbox paying a $60 digital copy?
Yeah,
I've never gotten the concept of digital being the same price as.
And I wonder if that
retail.
and I wonder if that's going to play into the deals. Is where I was leading that.
Okay,
is because that's already how it is. If a game comes out tomorrow. Let's say Call of Duty. It is $60 on Xbox. It is $60 if I go to the store. Digital or physical, it doesn't make a difference. So is there a way that they could cut that maybe with some of these deals or something? And that's what I don't understand is how that works. Because I'm not paying for the box. I don't have to pay the trucker to bring it here. I don't have to pay for GameStop to hold it on the shelf.
There's no manual labor involved. And the other thing is Stadia. If any of you guys watched E3, Stadia is not on the label of every game that was shown, right? There's certain games where Stadia's not even going to get. So I would
say maybe like half.
They're already limited to a smaller library. So why are you making me pay? I mean, do yourself a favor. I assume that it's cheaper for them to lower the cost of a game because all you're doing is streaming it. So why not just take advantage of that and then get your fan base based on a 40? You can get Assassin's Creed Odyssey for $40 on Stadia because and then make it known you're not buying it, you're streaming it,
and it's $60 everywhere else,
and you'll always have access to it. That to me would be a seller.
Yeah, if that's what it turns out to be, then yeah, that might be worth it. If I'm buying a game at $20 less, $40 less, $30 less,
exactly, because that's what makes me jump back into like indies and stuff like that. I love when I look on there and see like a Guacamelee on sale for $19.99. Yeah, I'll grab that, and because it's a digital game that I'm not getting anything physical on. Why is Google Stadia not being anything cheaper than what it should be?
Right. Well, if you don't have anything else on that, I kind of want to leave that inside Riff, unless you have something else you'd like to mention for the Stadia.
What do you want to go into Riff? Or do you want to go to video game question?
Well, I'd like to throw my Riff first, and then maybe the question, just because it kind of almost has to do with that.
Let's just finish. Let's go into Riffs, and then we'll put video game question at the.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can do it after.
Okay, let's do it that way. So it's our show. Let's mix it up however we want.
The Riff, the first Riff I'll go up with is Doom. Stealth launched Doom Original 1, 2, and 3 is like a triple pack today, and it just came out today. There's no mention of it on Xbox, PS4, and Switch. The problem is if you had already purchased Doom separately, 1, 2, or 3, like you could before,
right,
you could not re-download it from the store.
What? Say that again.
So if I purchased Doom 1 digitally before, let's say I already had it and I didn't download, and it's not on my Xbox. Let's say I wanted to play it today. I cannot download that game anymore. I would have to buy the triple pack now.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of people thought that was a weird a marketing push or like a way just to cheat people to buy the thing. Bethesda did come out and say that it is a glitch with the system. But that's something I was bringing up with.
Oh, it's a glitch.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, and I'm sure your first thing was like, oh, that's bullshit. They're just forcing me to buy this new game now.
Gotcha.
So
I see.
They came out and they said it is a glitch. Whether or not it was, or just because people are pissed, who knows? But they did say it's a glitch and it's something they're working on. But again, that brings into the all digital future. Something that I purchased and I could have had it years ago. I can't re-download now. And there's people who are even testing it just to make sure they would go through, uninstall Doom, and then try to re-download it again, and it wouldn't work. But there was weird ways around it that you could get to download it, like Doom 2. You would have to look it up. I don't know.
But if you're tech savvy, you can, right? Not if you're the average guy.
You gotta do like weird stuff. Like Doom 2, you have to go through like the achievements and look at it a certain way to where it'll bring the game back up to where it's available to download again. So it was just it was weird shit. It's not just let me go to the store and get this game. So
Has it been patched or fixed since then?
I as of yet I don't know, and I just looked like 2 hours ago, so it wasn't then. I mean, it might be now. But either way, that's just something bringing into the Stadia, like what you were talking about. They like, do you really own this game?
That's a huge question.
Yeah. Do you really own these games? Because I mean, that's why I don't buy every game digital, because there's certain ones I do want to have for years and years, no matter what. I know my physical copy should and would work. I more buy some for convenience because I'm too lazy to get up. All my shooters, I'll do that because.
Dude, yeah, I'm bad at it. Well, that raises an excellent question. I'll move it into a side riff. Is Stadia is offering the world, and one thing I think we touched on it when we first talked about it, is the world is not set up for this. I mean, our infrastructure is not set up to be doing this 1080, this streaming, this perfect no lag. Go to YouTube and you can start playing on your phone. Like, it's hard for me to wrap my head around the concept of that. Everybody, day one, is going to be able to use this thing, streamlessly and seamlessly into this concept where, what's going to happen to the guy in, like, North Dakota that tries to play this, that can't do it? It's a red flag.
Hey, we have a product for you, and it is called the Game Boy. Buy it.
Yeah, go back to the Game Boy. And so, I don't know, it's interesting on paper, and something like this needs to be done to progress and get things moving forward. And I'm glad it's these guys taking a step in that direction. And then also we have like Microsoft doing
everyone's all about the all-streaming future. Everyone knows that that's what's going to be the future. But I mean,
not yet,
yeah, we're not there yet. I think some people are just sleeping a little too much. But I mean, if you don't try it, then I mean, what else are you really going to do?
GameStop's going to turn into Game Stream. And all you do is you go there and you get...
Oh, you just remind me of another riff. Thank you.
There's going to be data centers that are going to be holding that. And
go ahead with your riff.
So my riff, and not in a bad way, just something I wanted to touch on because I actually did it today, was... So the last episode, we specifically talked about Gears 5, the tech test being around. It was only, I believe, the 19th to the 22nd. Well, if you guys hung in there, it's still being played this weekend, so you can actually go play it right now. I think
now it's open to everyone.
Is it open to everyone? Okay, yeah, because I actually jumped on. I saw that. I was like, let me give it a go. Saw it was still running, played a couple games. So if you guys, open to everyone in terms of if you have the Game Pass?
No, I think it's just open to anyone in general, as long as you have an Xbox.
Oh, completely. So if that is factual, then guys, jump on there. Go give it a go. Go give it a play. It's a lot of fun. I had a blast. I was just sitting here playing a couple matches by myself, and I was like, oh yeah, this game is actually really fun. The arcade mode's fantastic. One thing I think we forgot to mention is there is like, I don't want to say like an in-game currency, but you can collect, I don't know if it was skulls or medals or coins or whatever, but in match you can actually like buy in-game purchases to like boost up like a weapon or something like that.
Oh, maybe I missed that.
I completely missed it because I was doing it earlier and you could hit, I think it was Y. And you could pull that up, and it gave you this menu that you could get options to buy stuff. And I think it rolls right over to your next respawn. So that was kind of cool. But so if you haven't played it, guys, go check it out. If Andrew's correct, it should be open to everybody. If not, maybe you're limited to just if you have the Game Pass.
Yeah, if not, write me a hate message and let me know.
Hashtag MandrewY.
I'll move into the next riff then.
Okay, so what riff did I open up?
Oh, I'll say that one for last because I have a little bit more to say about that one.
Last minute riff?
Next one, Wolfenstein Youngblood. I believe it's out tomorrow, or maybe today.
I heard it wasn't doing so hot.
It got okay reviews, but what I wanted to mention and what I like, and we saw it with that other game. I think it's called The Way Out. That one that you played is what I didn't know is if you bought the digital deluxe edition for it, that it comes with a buddy pass, so you could give it to someone else and you can play that together co-op. And I'd like to see more and more games do something like that. You know, that's very consumer friendly. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, you know, you could just give it to someone else that you really are wanting to play with, and it doesn't matter. They don't have to buy a copy.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's just more people who get to play. So I just think it's cool to get to see something like that. So that was my little riff, is that I like when games do little things like that.
I want to touch on that because it just reminds me of the old school day, guys, and hang in there with me if you're not from the day. But before DLC and all that stuff came out, you had to pay for every little thing, skins, characters. You used to be able to unlock stuff. You used to be able to play things and get free in-game content, which is no more. But I like that a game like that is giving you something for free, no buying it, no. It wasn't part of a pre-order, right?
No, it's a deluxe edition. I don't know what that entails as far as it goes. I don't know if you pay more, and that's a footnote on top of whatever you get.
Maybe I spoke too soon, but I do miss when games gave you a little more bang for your buck in terms of just spending box value and getting something cool.
Well, I guess I'd have to look up the price to see if it was really worth it. And it was kind of just a quick rush one on there. Really cool, so I mean, I just like things like that because I mean, that other game, I think A Way Out,
if I'm not mistaken,
did the same thing. That's the one where you escape from jail.
Yeah, and you're the two buddies, and if I'm not mistaken, it's the guys that made Brothers, the dual thumbstick kind of drive game.
An EA game, surprisingly, doing something consumer friendly.
Oh, is that? I didn't even think about that. Was that EA?
That one is, yeah.
Well,
so my final, do you have another? Excuse me.
No. I just want to talk G5.
My final one would be GameStop has been talking about how they're going to put a new foot forward with their customer first experience, and they're trying to redesign all these stores now. Because they
I did hear about this.
They partnered with a company called RGA, who does like analytics and stuff like that. And so who knows what this even means, but word is that they're trying to redesign all their stores to make it a more comfortable customer first experience when you go in. And so maybe that's what they need, because me and Craig, when we go to our GameStop, that's what we like, is it's a customer first experience. When we go in there, they're talking to us. It's weird to say, like, hey, yeah, you know, they recognize me. They know my name because I go in there and I buy a lot of stuff. Yeah. Hey, come on, guys, you know me.
It's me.
And you know, they'll save stuff for me. They'll do special little things for me. I mean, they're cool. They're, I guess I would call them friends, you know?
Yeah, friendly.
I wouldn't hang out with them outside of work, but I like seeing them when they're working. And I guess I wouldn't mind, you know, meeting them outside of work or something like that. So either way, I just think, you know, that might be the right direction for them.
I think it's the only direction for them. These guys start moving. Unlike the majority who don't like Game Pass, GameStop. Me and Andrew had an episode, maybe episode 3 or 4, where we talked how much we like GameStop, and I don't want to see it to leave because you're not going to realize it's gone until it's gone, and you're going to be like, man, I miss that brick and mortar
Hastings all over again.
You know, we've already dealt with that in our small town. So,
and you know, I didn't realize how much I would miss Hastings. I used to
nobody
Hastings
did. Nobody did, man. And now it's like good riddance, and it's gone. I was like, goodbye, my love.
Every time I drive past it, I'm like, fuck. Do we really need a Harbor Freight? Like,
exactly. I see a hardware goddamn store. I'm just like, you know, what's GameStop going to turn into it? So they need to figure out a plan soon.
I hope it turns into a Wiener Schnitzel attached to the other end of that Wiener Schnitzel, so there's two on the same block.
Dude, Gamer Schnitzel is gonna happen.
Trademark.
It's it's a gaming grub. Ooh, there we go.
Trademark.
Trademark. So, dude, good riff though, man. I like when you bring stuff up because I heard about that, completely forgot about it.
That was something. That's what I was trying to look up earlier. And then he said something to me. I was like, "Oh, you told me." I fucking forgot now because you were talking to me.
I was almost curious. I'm like, what could he possibly have gotten out of me saying GameStop? And then he said it. I was like,
"Yeah, that was the one I was looking for." So, with that, are you ready for this question, which is actually not from us?
Yeah, we actually, guys, and I don't think I've ever asked you guys to do it, but feel free to submit a video game question of the week because normally I'll come up with one or Andrew will come up with one.
Yeah, we're more than happy to answer yours.
And we just got to. It's a nice little segment to just pass a couple minutes. But we got our first question from a fan. So Aaron Castro, we thank you, and we're gonna read your question, and then both I and Andrew will answer it. So I'll start it. I'll pause it halfway through. I'll see if you want to answer first or I'll answer first, and then we'll go from there. So Aaron Castro's question is, who would you rather be stranded on a desert island with, and why? So before I give you the names of who it is, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first.
Okay. So your choices are Zelda's Link, and Link of any incarnation, or Solid Snake? And why?
Link, because I don't have to listen to him talk all the time. A very quiet, a very good listener, which is what I look for in another man.
Right? Here are my problems.
But
so we're stuck on this beach again.
he seems like the kind of person. One, he saves the day.
Well, which Link? Let's start there. What Link? Because he's in incarnation.
I'll go Link's Awakening because that's my favorite Zelda, anyways.
Okay.
And he gets rafts, and he showed up there on a hand-built raft, so I felt like he could get us off this beach.
Really Jack Sparrow-esque.
Yeah, whereas I feel like Snake would talk too much, and Snake's the kind of person where people die around him all the time, and he's just sad about it. I don't need someone grieving for me. I just want to live.
Okay. Excellent answer, and I
that was a good choice between the two.
I kind of thought that that's where he might have leaned. So before I answer my version of the question, and I never played. You played Wind Waker.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I didn't even think of it. It didn't
occur
occur to me.
So the boat that he's on, can he make boats in that game?
No, that boat, he finds a boat.
Okay. So
I think he probably could make a boat though because he's an islander. So like,
I don't know the game. If he can make a boat off an island, then I'm picking Wind Waker Link. But I don't know if he can or not.
I feel like he could make a boat with Wind Waker Link because he's an islander. So he would have to know how because that's the only way to get around.
Well, because that was the first. Well, I was already thinking. I'm like, well, Snake is going to be able. He's going to be resourceful. So if we're stuck on this island, we'll at least get the most out of it. And like you're saying, or opposite what you're saying, maybe he'll treat me like an Otacon and he'll take me under his wing and he'll make sure. He'll put his life over mine to make sure I stay alive.
He could, but
if Wind Waker's building boats, and that's literally what he does, then I'm taking Wind Waker Link, and I'm getting the fuck.
I'll take Dead Silence on a possibility of a boat versus a 5-minute monologue on why I died and how you're going to be a better man from it from now on.
As long as I can take the codec and put it in my ear and him go, Craig! I'll be like, hey, we gone, baby.
Do you want Hater or Sutherland?
Oh, I'm all Hater. David Hater's my man.
I
know you're a
I love me
fan.
that
You're a
Sutherland.
Sutherland fan, but
I don't think you should replace him, but if you're talking Snake as in not Big Boss and Solid Snake, then Hater.
Excellent question, Aaron Castro. Thank you for submitting it. And guys, please submit more of this because we like debating them. So Andrew's answer is Link from Link's Awakening. I have a split answer.
I like that. I'd rather pick them than create my own.
Yeah, if for certain Link from Wind Waker can build a boat, I'm on him all day. If not, I'm doing Snake because I think he's resourceful and he'll have enough people looking for him that maybe we'll catch a helicopter out of there.
You want to talk about the contest next?
Let's
end with the highs and lows or highs and lows?
No, let's do the contest at the end, just so these guys stick around to the last little bit. So you want to go first?
Skip the next 2 minutes.
Highs or lows? You want to go first or second?
I'll go first.
Okay.
So my low would be so I finished Metro. I actually really like the game.
Metro what?
Exodus.
Because there's 3.
Excuse me. Yeah, I just finished Metro Exodus. I actually really enjoyed the game, but the one thing that kept happening was that it like crashed like 4 or 5 times when I was playing, which usually wasn't so bad because I could just go back to my save and it's like a minute away, so it's a minute of me just walking again.
Cutscenes are fucking.
Which is where I'm getting. There's an achievement where you have to do it's called doing a tea party. You're supposed to listen to this guy, and it's like a fucking 10-minute cutscene, and I'm like a third of the way through it, and the game fucking crashed. So not only did I have to make it to the guy again, which is another few minutes, I had to just sit there and listen to this guy fucking talk again. And I'm like, God, dude. And that was just... That pissed me off.
I gotta put a side note on it, because I don't know if I talked about it when I beat Metro 2023. But that's why I stopped doing some of the achievements. It was the same thing. I had to go back, replay a level. I'm like, oh, it's only level 4. I'll pick this up. It's a fucking 15-minute cutscene before you even start the goddamn game. One of them is the one where you have to crawl under, get under this, it's like a wheelbarrow or something, and it lifts you up, and it brings you down, and then I'm like, dude, I can't do this. And then there's 4 more achievements I gotta do based around waiting to get to a certain part of the level.
And so, I mean, there was an achievement for going through and beating the game on New Game Plus with some other stuff. It would have been easy to do. It would have got me like another 200 points. I was like, fuck, do I really want to spend like another 5 hours of unskippable cutscenes just listening to these people fucking talk?
How long do you think it took you for the first one?
For the first one?
First round, anyway.
You know what? I would have to look at it. I would say maybe like 8 to 10.
It's a good weekend game.
It's definitely easy and quick, and I went out of my way to do achievements. If you're just running through that game, fucking killing everybody, you can probably do it in like 4 to 5 hours. what is it, 4 to 5 hours? Do I want to listen to people with Russian accents again? No.
Yeah, I mean, not that they're bad, but it's just repetitive.
You want to go highs, or do you want to do both?
Yeah, you do your low because my high's tied in with my low. So
I'll do my high is actually from.
Oh, that was your low. Yeah, do your high, then I'll do mine.
Okay, so my high would actually be from my cousin, who the other day we were playing. He actually sent me a message, a Snapchat of someone he was playing PUBG with, and his name was Iquensuocha, which made me fucking die laughing because that's the name of White Devil in Ace Ventura 2.
Oh, nice.
And they call me Iquensuocha, and the dude's name is Iquensuocha666 for like White Devil.
I like that.
And so it was fucking hilarious because I forgot all about that scene. I love Ace Ventura 2.
Forget the power of a good gamer tag.
But man, it's been a while since I've seen like a really, really. My other favorite one that I saw like not too long ago was a Slaughtermelon. Like I don't know why
the name. Okay.
Yeah, I just thought that was really creative, really cool. And it's like, I can't abandon my name, but I love seeing names like that out there. Like, I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Dude, nothing wrong with a good gamer
tag. I love a good gamer tag.
I think we had an episode, and I don't know how many people watched it, but didn't we do like a thing of old school gamer tags or something like that?
Yeah, I think we talked about it, because we were talking about the PS4 name change is what it was.
Nice. Yeah, I was like, because that just reminded me of it completely. I was like, nice, that's fantastic.
The floor is yours.
Okay, so I'll try to be quick. My highs and lows are both based around Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, because that's what I've been playing.
Black Order.
Oh, man. So my low goes into my high, goes into my another low. So my low was I played the game. I'm really enjoying it. I got to the point where you get to, I don't want to call it a spoiler because it's just part of the game. So if you played it, you played it. If you haven't,
give you a few minutes. And
yeah, if you don't want to hear my opinion on Ultimate Alliance 3,
skip now. Yeah,
you can wait now. So I get to Doctor Strange, and he's being taken over by Dormammu in the Dark Dimension, and you have to fight him. First round's cake. I'm like, this guy's mine. You fight him in the second round, and I haven't had my ass beat like that in a game in a minute. And
fuck like that since grade school.
Yeah, dude, I'm just like, I feel like Ed Norton. Or no, I guess I'd be more like
Helena Bonham Carter. Yeah.
So I had to. I'm too old in this day and age as a gamer to
grind it out,
and theorize what I need to do. And I did it for 3 or 4 times, which I think modern day is plenty of time.
I feel you on that, man.
So I have no hesitation to look it up and just go, hey, what am I missing? Did I miss something? I look it up, and every post I see is where this is like the hardest battle so far.
It's just that fucking peak in the game for some reason.
Yeah, it's that spike that just hits you. And so everyone's like, well, I made sure my guys were this, and I changed all my characters to that, and I, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, dude, fuck that. I don't want to change my guys because I really like my roster, and I don't want to
have to level those people up that you weren't using.
Yeah, I'm not trying to go back and level up guys that are 6s or 13s or 20s to 30s or whatever the level cap was for the level. So I kind of read a few different strategies and kind of blended them together, and then on my next try, and I went back, leveled up, did my ISOs, did my I think it's the Infinity, the lab. I did everything, leveled up my moves. And then I went back and smashed it. And then the next boss is actual Dormammu, which I think I lost the first one. And then beat him again. So my low was I hit a dead spot in the game, right? This game is supposed to be...
that difficulty spike,
Yeah, it's supposed to be that thing where it's misleading. Everyone thinks it's a button smasher. It has a curve. You've got to know to synergize. You've got to know to level up your guys. You've got to know how to utilize a boss battle if there's certain schematics in it. Not schematics. Tactics in it. Such as picking up crystals and throwing it at them versus other boss battles not having it. So my low was I hit the deep. My high was I ended up beating the next 2 bosses with my original roster, not changing up too much. Back in my dip into a low is I'm at the end of the game, and I won't say which boss I'm fighting, but I'm right back at the same point where like I can get this guy down to like a quarter health. I fought him 3 times so far. And I get, it's the same, I plateau. I get to a quarter health and I'm done.
I feel you on that because I hit that difficulty. So it's been a while since I've hit that in a game. And the last game that really did that for me was Monster Hunter World, fighting the Anjanath, the giant T-Rex. Like, that was the first monster.
So I was like, fuck,
dude, I'm getting my ass fucking beat, dude.
Yeah, well, because it's one of those things where it's not just, you don't, because I don't want to throw Sienna under a bus, but like, I was a 42 and I passed, Doctor Strange and Dormammu, got up to here. Cien's still fighting that boss because I'm telling you, it's fucking hard if you don't have a strategy to fight this boss. It's fucking hard, and he's at level 45. So that just shows. I don't mean to like say he can't get past it. it's just the level cap doesn't mean anything. It's literally based on how you fight the boss, because you'll never get past him if you don't. And I actually had a conversation with one of our guys on Instagram, and me and him just had a conversation. We were talking about who you using, what benefits, what percentages on teams did you get. So it's interesting. And again, I haven't had a challenge like that in a while, and I'm glad I was able to overcome it just based on figuring out the game.
Just to get stuck again, though?
Based on my same characters. But yeah, now I'm back at the same point. And again, it's regroup, re-strategize, readjust, and then re-attack. So highs and lows was just a roller coaster.
I got you. I feel you.
So what we've done our riffs, we've done our stories, we've done our highs and lows. I guess all we have left now, guys, is to explain
contest rules again.
So very quickly, guys, because we are reaching maximum time limit. So we are giving away a Nintendo Switch Lite. And
of your color
of choice, whether it be the turquoise, the canary yellow, or the I think this is gray.
And the Pokemon, if we can get it for you.
And the Pokemon version, definitely if we can get it. So how do you enter and how do you win? Well, you start back at episode 12. You can leave a comment, basically just a comment that's allowing you to enter yourself into this thing.
It helps you a lot more if you put hashtag Switch Lite in there.
It helps us very know it. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to run that from the 2 episodes ago all the way up until September, I think it's the 7th, because
I thought it was 14th.
14th is when we announced the winner.
Oh, okay.
So up until the 7th is going to be your entries. So every episode we do from then until then, you guys just enter a comment, hit like. You got to be a subscriber. So make sure that you subscribe, because if I've seen a lot of people I've seen a lot of people write. We've wrote them back. I looked, they're not a subscriber. If you get picked, you're not going to be entered. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
And now, pretty much you have a chance. What it does is it gives you... It's event. I think it's 10 episodes altogether. So you have 10 chances to win. Because what we'll do is we'll pick a winner from each episode. Then we put all that in a hat, and then we'll draw
physically
from there.
Put it in there. We'll pull it out, and at the end of the day, you're gonna win. Me and Andrew will buy it for you. Like Andrew always says, we're not a big channel. We're not getting it early. We're gonna go buy it the day it comes out, package it up, ship it out. So you'll probably get it a week later.
Within a week.
So, but what we are opening into is who's our commenter?
This one goes out to Connor Malone.
Connor Malone
from Ireland, and I'm not buying that fake name. It's
he doesn't believe you, Connor. I got your back, but
it's Connor McGregor is a fan of our show, and he's using Post Malone's last name because he likes Post Malone. So Connor McGregor, this one's for you.
So Connor, you've opened this up, guys. It's not just, I think the last episode or 2 we've said it's just the U.S. We're gonna open it up, but there are restrictions. If it's cost feasible, we will pay for it.
Yeah, if it's like $700 to ship it to Qatar or something like that, I can't. Yeah,
someone in there, we look it up and it costs more than what it's worth even doing. If it costs more than what the goddamn Switch Lite is, we're not doing it. So,
you know what? I don't know if they have Zelle in Europe, but I'll Zelle you.
Yeah, Zelle me your pounds, bro, and we'll do it. So, with that being said, guys, that is how you enter. And again, make sure you watch the last 2 episodes all the way up until the next few episodes, because every watch comment is a entry into this contest.
Yeah, it's a chance to win. You know, why not?
Don't shortchange yourself. You got plenty of chances to win, and it could be you. So, with that being said, guys, if you want to follow us on Instagram, you can do that at LastCallProductions. If you guys want to follow us on Twitter, you can do that at LastCallProdz. That's with the Zoltan Z. And if you guys want to write in a question like Aaron Castro did, a video game question of the week, or just give us your comments on something we maybe said wrong or something you want us to see correct,
let us know.
Write that at lastcallproductions@gmail.com. Also, guys, there's a Facebook page just called Last Call Productions with that Z. So make sure you guys follow that. But
I think if you leave a YouTube comments too, I mean, we can try and work some of that stuff into for a question of the week or something.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Make it a little bit easier.
Leave YouTube comments.
Yeah, either way. If you got questions of the week for us, we'll be more than happy to answer. It makes it easier than me and him coming up with one.
You know what I would love to do, and maybe we'll do it, is we average 4 episodes a week. If out of all the 4 people that submit questions, if we could do the same kind of thing and give them a small little prize or something like that. So once a month we give out a prize to the 4 people that submit a question of the week.
Oh, maybe we'll have to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll figure out. The more things we can do that engage you guys and interact with us, the better. So
we're at 59 minutes. So go ahead and give it a cheers.
So until next time, guys, my name is Craig Perales. That is Mandrew Montemayor. And we'll see you next time. Cheers.
See you in Ireland.
perfect sense.
Yeah,
Perfect sense.
yeah, and it was fucking.
And then they went into showing it. Rewind it back.
Yeah.
Rewind it back.
Oh yeah, that was really.
Yeah,
cool,
I'm not getting it. Okay, yeah, let's do it like that. I was just like, dude, fuck yeah.
Oh, I love too when he's still fucking. No, I'm still gonna need that cape. The chick's just like fucking trying to like sneak it out.
I'm gonna be meeting the queen soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good shit.
Either way, that movie's a top 5 MCU for me now.
Yeah. Well, it's the first one to cross $1 billion. First Spider-Man.
Yeah, I seen that. That was pretty cool. And I love me some Tobey Maguire, but I would. This is my favorite Spider-Man movie. I'll put it over.
Maguire over Garfield.
Yeah.
As Spider-Man, not the movie.
I'll say Tobey Maguire's my 1 and 2 is my favorite Spider-Man. I like them more than him.
Better than Jake Johnson?
Is that his? No.
That's Into the Spider-Verse, the animated one that just came out.
Oh yeah, no, I love Jake Johnson.
He's fantastic.
Fuck, what's his name?
Who?
New Spider-Man?
Oh, Holland? Tom Holland?
Oh, Tom Holland, yeah, so. I like him more than him, but I like this movie more than... This is my favorite Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, collectively, all the Spider-Man movies, this one's your favorite.
Yeah.
And that's what I was talking to Tim the other day.
Would you put yours?
I would...
Or what would you put over it?
I really... And Stan would always...
Would it just be 2?
I really have to rewatch 2 again, and just...
I rewatched 2 the other day, and I still loved it. I thought it was good.
2? I fucking love number 2, and it's... I haven't seen it in a minute, and I don't know if it's me just remembering how good 2 is, but
I just love Doc Ock.
Exactly. It's not even the fact that... Because I hate the whole... Spider-Man Mary Jane shit, but Doc Ock is the show.
It's just like this movie. Yeah, this movie. It's all about Mysterio. Yeah. Mysterio's what
when you focus on the villain, and it's a good villain done, acted well.
And I love the first Spider-Man, Green Goblin.
Oh, Green Goblin, dude, fantastic.
And I don't even.
But that's where Garfield's ones lose me. The Lizard's and Electro was a huge letdown, and the Goblin in that movie sucked dick. So
I don't think Spider-Man 3 is that bad. Oh. It's just got lots of bad scenes in it.
So when we were in Kansas, I watched it. I literally watched it, and it's bad, dude.
I don't think it's the villain's fault that it's bad. Because I think Topher Grace as Venom was fine. And he's like, Christian's like, you like that shit? I was like, dude, I thought that scene, it's one of my favorite scenes, is when he's praying in the church, like, please God, kill Peter Parker. I think that's a badass fucking scene. That's a really fucking cool scene.
I can remember, because I just literally told it, please God, kill Peter Parker.
You can't tell me that's not a good scene.
It's good. I just hear Foreman every time and I'm like, I just hear Eric, or is it Eric Foreman? What's his name?
Yeah,
and I just hear that voice, or Foreman, and that's just kind of what throws me off of it. And I was like, it could have been better. I just always picture. They
could have chosen
a big, Tom Hardy is a cool. If you're gonna change Brock from being the way he was, Tom Hardy's a good way to do it. I wasn't a big fan of the Topher Grace change.
I didn't mind him with the way that he was, because I like too that he got called out, and that's why he had that grudge, and that's why he hates Spider-Man and Peter Parker, is because he fucking lost everything.
No, I don't mind how his story moved. I thought his story was fine of white.
Trash, bro.
It's just if you would have changed Topher Grace and somebody else, I would have been, and keep the scene the same. Would have been fine. Dude, I had to stomach. Dude, there's 2 scenes that do it. I didn't know there was 2. It's he does one, and then he goes again, and he's just he goes back to it. And I'm just he's on the payphone. I forget who he's talking to, Aunt May or something, and he's got that other bitch feeding him cookies.
Yeah.